Whew, loud. Okay, so last night apparently Arionne and Karson went live, right? And they both went live to defend themselves. Now, when we're talking about these two women, this situation, I don't want to get sidetracked. The fact of the matter is, I believe what Karson said when she said Arionne told her that Martell wanted for her to do that to Mel. I believe it wholeheartedly. Um, I believed it when she said it. I believed it when Mel confirmed it. I believe it now that people are trying to find faults and flaws in her story. Now, do I believe the problem that I have with Karson? Let's start there. The problem that I have with Karson is I don't feel that she's a genuine person, right? That doesn't take away from what she said about the plot. Because I believe there was a plot, there was a plan, but them people ain't got no purpose. I just feel like when she did her interview with a blogger, someone asked a question that I had been saying to myself the whole time because I rewatched the interview. I didn't watch it live time. And that was, if you hadn't been exposed or if no one found out that you were friends or acquaintances with Arionne, would you have told Mel about the plot? She said no. That was my whole thing. Now, because she said no, that further leads me to believe that everything that she's doing is about money. It's about money, securing her spot on that show, getting her clientele up. And let's be honest here, we can't blame her. The woman has 4 kids, a husband, a whole family. The uprooted her family from their home and moved all the way to Alabama. So, I mean, whatever. The problem that I'm having here is when you want people to view you a certain way, right? It's all about how you carry yourself. When she felt the need to let Tisha know immediately, in my mind, she was trying to secure her spot with Tisha, right? And if she, can get in good with Tisha, she can get good exposure. But then, we don't know what doors are open to her from that point. So when she verified and clarified that had no one known that she was talking to Arionne, she wouldn't have said anything to Mel, that bothered me. It furthermore bothered me that Tisha knew about it the whole time and didn't say anything to her. It's this thing with these people, like you cannot trust these people. You cannot depend on these people to have your back. These women. So do I believe that Karson and Arionne's friendship was a little more than what she said? Could have been. They could have talked more than what Karson admitted to. However, Arionne served her no purpose. I feel like Karson... If Karson didn't have a way to get on that show, I feel like her and Arionne's friendship would have continued and it would have grown. But the fact that Arionne has absolutely nothing to offer her, she had to choose. Okay, when we get down here, we're gonna these are the it people in Huntsville right now. They have a TV show. I need to get on this show. I need to do these women's hair. I need to get in this circle. So when they got there, she said that her and her husband went to Black. Out of all places they could have They went to Black. Her husband talked to Marceau. Marceau then introduced her to Tisha, and now she's doing Tisha's hair. She lets Tisha know that, she knew Arionne because this is where she's planning on being, right? She's planning on building a bond and a business relationship with Tisha to get her exposure. That went all in well because she let Tisha know everything. But when it came to the light and she knew that, just like she said in that interview, she would want to get a little closer to Melody. She liked Melody's style. She thought Melody was beautiful. She liked her personality. And this is another thing, Miss Karson. When that lady asked you, what room would you have rather been in between Melody, Tisha, and Kimmy? If you weren't going to stand firm and stick with being in Tisha's room, baby, you should have just said Kimmy's. Kimmy's a cancer survivor. She lost her hair, and you already said that you specialize in clients with hair problems. Hair restoration is your specialty, right? So why didn't you say you would go to Kimmy's room, even if that wasn't your first choice? When you're thinking and you're being business minded and business oriented, this is what you should have done, because now Tisha knows. Okay, why is she around me? Is she around me to get close to Mel? Will she switch up on me for Mel? Because because that's what it seemed like. Because you said exactly what we all knew. You would have rather been in Melody's room, baby. That's the head honcho. That's what everybody want to be. That's whose presence these people want to be in. So let's not even fake kick it. Can't blame her. That was a good choice, but was that a smart response in the moment? So now we're going to have to see if that bothered Tisha. If she's going to continue to do Tisha's hair and she's going to continue to travel with Tisha. I seriously doubt that Mel is going to allow this girl to come start doing her hair and being in her presence with everything that's going on, regardless to her letting her know what happened because she didn't want her to be bombarded with the information. However, you didn't tell me. You told Tisha and you let the world know that had you not been exposed, you wouldn't have told me anything. See, Mel and me are completely different. I say Mel's a more mature woman than me because, baby, I would have been petty, allowed her to do my hair one time, took some photos, gave her what she thought she was going to get, and that would have been it. Now, for the rest of the people, when we get down to Arionne's live, Arionne was lying her behind off. That girl was lying. I'm steady trying to look at the messages she had to see if I could see a date, because I'm not Instagram savvy. I don't know too much about Instagram. I'm just now utilizing my page, and I've had this page for years. So I'm trying to figure out if she has dates from last year or the year before in these messages, and if so, girl, what app you using? What app you using to create this mess that you have and you're trying to feed off to people? Arionne she did exactly what she does in her lives. Sit there, say a whole bunch of nothing, looking crazy in the camera. But this time she looked nervous. She looked afraid. There was something in her eyes to me that said that she was scared. Then here come Martell, or whoever, it was Martell, whoever calling her, telling her, stand back, show them you were not pregnant. She been had that little pudgy, but on the side, baby, it looked kind of circular, honey. It looked like she may have been with child, but she's probably not, because she should be big and pregnant by now. And then they were telling her, text messaging, I'm assuming they were telling her, hey, address the video. You had nothing to do. Oh, I had nothing to do with the video. I had nothing to do with a plot, no nothing. She's a lie. Baby, it was written all over her face. They all are sketchy individuals. They all are suspicious. However, we cannot deflect. We cannot ignore the fact that even though Karson may be an opportunist, she may have dropped Arionne so she could put herself in the position to be around these women, to expose her business. She's a mother. To expose her brand. She's a wife. To get clientele. She has a family. We cannot overlook the fact that what she said could have been, and I feel that it is true. We cannot just let Arionne and Martell off the hook so much because we're looking into the lies that Karson may or may not be telling. She said she never spoke with Martell, and then people find her comment on his post. And this is the thing. Karson, the thing that messed her up, she should have just been honest and just completely honest, because this is what it seems to me. It seems to me that she was probably trying to get in good with Arionne when she found out that Martell was on TV, and maybe she thought that, Arionne and Martell could have, helped out her business. And then maybe she did a little research, because you're not going to up and move from one place to another without researching what's going on in that town. I would hope not, especially not with 4 kids. When she did her research, she realized that Arionne is pretty much a piranha. Like, no one deals with her too much in that town, specifically because of these groups of this group of women. Primarily Melody. Now, if we're going to be smart and we're moving from one state to the next and we're trying to build our brand, we're not going to associate with someone who's looked at as a homewrecker, a liar, slow, someone who's not very bright, someone who talks a lot of crap about the the popular and popping people in this town. These people are on TV. What are you going to do? You're going to try to associate yourself with them. So when you and your husband come to town, y'all go to Black. He introduces himself to Marceau. Marceau, you get in good with Marceau, have good dialogue. He introduced you to his wife. You start doing his wife's hair. You're moving around with his wife with her television show. Come on, let's be real. She should have said that. Look, I realized Arionne wasn't a good look for me. I stopped dealing with her. No, I didn't up and tell Melody about this. I told Tisha because this is who I, wanted to build my work relationship with. I didn't know where it could take me, so I told her. Had this not come out, no, I wouldn't have told Melody. But I do feel bad about it. People still would have been looking at you like you crazy girl. Like you crazy girl, because when you attach yourself to Arionne, that was that. Whoo, Lord. I told y'all it wasn't over, and it's still not over and done now. There is more to come. Mark my words. We're going to keep our eyes and our ears open. And we're going to be here for the mess, because this ain't nothing but mess. People want to find the flaws and faults in Karson's lies, but we ignoring the fact that Martell tried to get this girl, Arionne, to post revenge porn on his ex-wife because he's upset and mad. Who cares about Wanda's live? Let that lady go live. Don't nobody care. I ain't even on the show. On that last episode, Desi was there. The camera people paid her dust. I kept seeing the side of Desi's dress in the back of her head. And speaking of the last episode, because I didn't do a review on my people on there, the people on there, it was very strange how Martell just ignored Sheree the whole party, and she's looking around, put on this fake smile, and she's just left alone. She's waiting for him to introduce her to other people and say thanks to her, and he ignored that lady. And the fact that Kimmy called out that this is looks like a public relationship, oh, child, boom. Bye. That's why Arionne is so cool with it, because it may not be real. She knows that it's not real. But then again, she's still a fool, because after all is said and done, this man still won't publicly acknowledge you and accept you as his woman, because he knows, for one, you're bad for his image. His image already messed up. And who cares if he love you like he say, like you think he does? He wouldn't care what anybody said, because then he would validate you by making you his woman in public, letting them know, yes, this is who I'm with, this is who I love, and this is what's going on. Ain't nothing nobody could be able to do about it. But instead, this man would rather have a fake or not fake or whatever relationship with Sheree Whitfield. And why did he got her name set in his phone as Sheree Whitfield? I need to go ahead and do a review on this show, on this episode, because this was just so cringy and ridiculous, and we still are not ignoring the fact that Martell and Arionne were plotting to expose revenge porn on Melody. Not gonna let that go. They all sketchy. All of them are suspicious. Whoo, Lord. Until the next one, y'all.